And good afternoon in Singapore. This is me, Hanan. I'm a master's student. I studied in Singapore in 2020, 2021 in RSIS NTU. I did international relations. Today I'm here with you to share my experience in Singapore and what I learned there and what is my view on the country and everything. First of all, allow me to thank General Personnel Council, the organization I belong to, for giving me such an experience, because if I wasn't an GBC staff, I wouldn't have this opportunity to go and study and pursue my master's in Singapore. Second, I would like to thank Singapore government and the cooperation program and ETAB for giving Palestine this opportunity to have those students to go and study in Singapore and get that amazing experience. So now allow me to share some views. First of all, what interested me in the experience in Singapore is what was the celebration and the cultural celebrations and the religious ones. It was the first time in my life to celebrate such celebrations. Among them was the Chinese New Year, because here in the Middle East we're far away from China and the celebrations. So getting the chance to celebrate the Chinese New Year was an amazing experience for me. Also, as well, the Diwali, or the Festival of Light, which is an Indian celebration basically. It was the first time in my life as well to celebrate Diwali in Singapore with Indian friends, as well as the Muslim celebrations, Ramadan and the Hari Rayas and all the Muslim celebrations there. So for me, the Chinese New Year and Diwali were the most interesting celebrations I've ever experienced in my life, because it was my first time in Southeast Asia and the first time to celebrate such celebrations. Another thing in Singapore, it's I can call it a plate of rojak. For those who are not familiar with what rojak is basically a plate where you put everything together and fry them together and you eat a lot of things in one plate. So in Singapore, you can taste that. You can taste how multiracial and multicultural and multi-religious Singapore is, where everyone comes together in harmonious way to represent one country and one value, and they come together peacefully. As for me, it was the first time to see how multiracial a country could be. In Singapore, you have Chinese, Indians, Malays, and other people. They come together to constitute one country. They are multicultural in a way that all cultures are represented in a unique way, where you see everyone unique culture, but you see as well the whole image or the whole frame of Singapore, as well as it's multi-religious, where you can see a lot of religions, they come together in peaceful way, Islam, Hinduism, Christianity, Judaism, Buddhism, and Sikhism, and other religions as well. So that was interesting for me, to see all these differences coming together in one place in a harmonious way. Another thing I would like to share about Singapore is the cuisines. In Singapore, you get to experience a lot of food from different countries from all over the world. So in this picture, those are pictures I took in my phone. So I got to taste a lot of food, a lot of flavorful cuisines from all over the world, from Southeast Asia, from India, from China, from the Middle East. So those are some samples of my favorite food when I were in Singapore. I wish if I stayed more than that, so I got to experience more and more. But those are the ones that I experienced during the 11 months I stayed in Singapore. NTU, because I'm an NTU student, studying in NTU was such an amazing opportunity for me, because NTU is a diverse environment where you get to meet a lot of people, not only from Southeast Asia and China and India, but also from all over the world. I got to meet students my colleagues. They were from Europe, from the Middle East, from Americas. So coming together and learning together and sharing different perspectives from different countries, it gives you the experience where you get to visit all countries, but you are still in Singapore, by sharing and knowing other people's perspectives from different parts of the world. You get to experience everything at once. So those are my my schoolmates and some of the classes I took in NTU. And those people, they come from all over the world, as you can see. NTU would like to tell you a bit about NTU, because I studied in that university. NTU it was established in July 1991. and its name is Nanyang Technological University, in short, NTU. It started as a teaching university, but then later it became a research-intensive global university. NTU is ranked among the top universities by QS ranking, and it has the world's best schools. It also has the main campus. It has 15 beautiful university campus, and it's among the 15 most beautiful campus in the world. And in the year that I studied in NTU, there were like 8,362 postgraduate students who graduated from NTU that year among me. The graduation, unfortunately, I didn't get the chance to graduate in person in Singapore because I was back here to Palestine. But we got the chance to have virtual graduation. And as you can see, I did like a photo shooting before I left Singapore just to have those pictures like as a memory for me. The graduation was like, although it was virtual, but it was so interesting and so nice, where like everyone came together and like we got to celebrate virtually. I wish it was in person, but that during the COVID restrictions and everything, this is what we could do at that time. I want to share with you a bit of the cultural activities I participated in NTU in my stay in Singapore. Among the most interesting one was the Confluence 2021. It's basically an activity. It's done by the student board in NTU, where they bring 15 booths from 15 countries, and they represented by the students. So every student, they come and represent their country in a booth. So for me that year, I was lucky to get the chance to represent Palestine in Palestine booth, and as you can see from the photos, I got the chance to like collect all of those things like from Palestinian families. They live in Singapore, so I met them and like I borrowed the things in order to have this booth and to set everything. And also in the Confluence, you get the chance to present your country, your culture, and information and insights with NTU students. And interestingly, it was the Palestine booth among the best 3 booths in the Confluence 2021 according to student survey. So like, yeah, I was happy that I could represent Palestine with like a very limited resources and materials at that time, because when I arrived Singapore, I didn't know anyone, I didn't know any Arabs, I didn't know any Palestinians, but during the conference, I get the chance to collect everything and to meet people and to come up with this like nice, interesting booth of Palestine. And that was the first time that Palestine participated in such a cultural event in Singapore. So for the first time, Palestinian students represent Palestine in such a cultural and interesting event that happens in NTU every year. Among other activities I did, it was the voluntary and social work. I get the chance, thanks to Mr. Hawazi, for making me like meeting people from Singapore, like several organizations. Here I get the chance to participate with an organization. It's called Roses for Peace. Roses for Peace, they were like distributing food and things for disadvantaged family during that time. So I get the chance to go and experience that experience with them. It was very interesting, where you get to know like the all levels of like, you know, Singapore families and like all social levels. So here it was like one of the activities that I participated with Roses for Peace in Singapore. And as well, I get the chance to have an interview with a news outlet. It's a Malay-speaking newspaper. It's called Berita Harian. And I get to talk about the escalation on Gaza and Jerusalem, the late escalation in May by the Israeli occupation forces. So that was interesting as well, because also Mr. Hawazi, he introduced me to this person, to the writer of the newspaper, but I got to do the interview, and that was interesting for me as well. And yeah, finally we got like together with the Arab community. I got to know a lot of Arab students who studying and staying in Singapore. So we formed like our group, and we invented our digital like online platform where we come together. We have now our groups, and like we share a lot of things. We share a lot of like events, gatherings, and everything related to our community in Singapore. And here, as you can see, like those are some of my friends, so I get to meet them in Singapore. They come from different countries, from Egypt, Tunisia, Sudan, Yemen, a lot of Arab countries. And here as well, I got to participate with the Arab Network in Singapore. It's basically established by Yemeni Arabs who came to Singapore like decades ago. and now they are like representing their Arab like culture and everything, and they are like they have an activities that is very phenomenal, and they do a lot of activities in Singapore to represent their heritage. So I got to participate with them in some of their activities. And finally, the experience made me like have a lifetime friends, like those friends who will stay with me forever. I guess like I will contact them forever, and they will stay like will stay friends forever. And yeah, those are some of my friends. I have a lot more, but those are like the very close ones, I guess. And thank you. This is my presentation. I hope like you like it. And if you need any questions or anything, please like feel free to reach me. Thank you.